So in the career progression, we actually met palang last Friday for the finalization of the IRR so that we can already implement it. And I just want to say that for next year, we have an allocated budget of 1 billion for career progression. So, so just to start, what is our vision for career progression? So one is we wanted to make sure that no teacher is left out in the process. As we all know, I have an aunt who retired, who's a very good teacher, but she retired teacher one, no, because she was assigned somewhere and there was no other position but the teacher one. So she was, when she learned that I was with DepEd, she said, that's something that you have to work on because it's difficult to have a career in the education sector if you have very limited levels of teachers, no? So I was happy when I learned about the career progression, and we wanted to make sure that this is really implemented na next year, no? So there is going to be a very clear and distinct teacher's path. So hindi na ngayon teachers 1 to 3, but you have teachers 1 to 7, and then you make a decision whether you'd like to stay in the academic track or be in the administrative track. So we have many ways of, the strategies are, for this vision is, one is the promotion system, the reclassification, and also the expanded ladder that goes up to this career system. Next slide. So the career progression is based, nahabol ito nila Secretary Liling. Next slide. Before the end of the term of PRRD, naihabol natin itong Executive Order 174. We're just waiting for some departments to put its seal on the IRR, no, before we could take this out. But we want to make sure that by the end of the year, we're done with all the administrative processes, and we can already implement this by next year, because there's funds for next year. Next slide, please. So improving the teacher quality. Next slide. So yun na yung sa EO 174, no? So I'll explain that later on. Can we go to the next slide? Okay, so this is how this is now the harmony of the different mechanisms that we have, no? So we would be intervening on the pre-service through the Teachers Excellence Council Secretariat. Next, on November 28th, we will be meeting with the 3NS because we have to make sure that the curriculum and the competency build up in education classes or in the curriculum of the state university and colleges and even the private sector would correspond to the competency requirement that we have, at least for teacher one and the other specialized courses, no? So there's going to be a very strong partnership. That's why na-involved din dito ang NIAP, because henceforth, we will not be engaging, we would probably do, but in a very limited scale, but we will not be downloading para mabawasan na rin ang ano ng mga regions. Would be partnering directly with SUCs in the region and then regionalized trainings, no? So for example, the one in Eastern Visayas could go either to Leyte Normal University or to Cebu Normal University. So we have to establish formal partnership with these normal schools all over the country, but probably ask the Philippine Normal University to take the lead in these partnerships so that we could optimize utilization of our resources. Hindi na kailangan magbiyahe papuntang Manila, but can actually take the courses in the ground, no? And it's going to be a continuing partnership with the SUCs, no? Kasi yan naman talaga ang esensya ng education, for the pre-service and the continuing education of the teachers. So pagdating sa in-service, the NIAP will have to, as you can see there, meron tayong categorization of those that are in stage of beginning, proficient, highly proficient, and then the distinguished. So if you're all aware that there are people going around the regions, people from BROD, bringing down already these processes and the training, especially on MSP. And I really hope that this would somehow diminish the work of the regions and the divisions, and also the teachers, no, na mabawasan yung kanilang trabaho. So the text would take care of the pre-service, and then the moment it gets to us in the in-service, then it's NIAP and the entire DepEd organization. Next slide. So for classrooms career line, so meron tayong teacher 1 to 7, and at certain point, the master teacher, they will have to make a decision whether Yeah, can you put it out na lang lahat? Okay, so very clear na yung progression, no? I think this would really make our lives simpler next year, no? That's the classroom teaching career line, no? And then we categorize them whether they're on a beginning stage. Although there are reactions to the beginning stage, you know, kasi parang teacher 1 to 3 considered ka pa ring beginning stage, no? So we're looking at that. That's based on feedback on the ground. So we're rethinking that aspect of categorization for beginning, and then but we're clear insofar as the categorization for proficient, highly proficient, and distinguished. Next slide. Next slide. Okay. So if you look at this slide, ito na yung ating future process. So you have teachers 1 to 3, which is, for now, we're still using beginning, proficient, highly proficient, and distinguished based on PPST standard, the Philippine Professional Standards, and the master teacher. Pagdating sa after teacher 7, ang master teacher will now make a decision whether he or she would like to stay in the classroom or would take on an administrative function. Pareho lang naman, the grade level is the same, no? It's at grade 22. I'm sure you have a lot of questions on the head teachers and the special education. Next slide, please. Para masagot na. And so that's how we will be aligning the existing positions. And I just wanted to show that there's really equity in what we will be implementing next year. Next slide. So in the career progression roadmap, we're already on finalizing the enabling policy, the enabling mechanism, which is the IRR, and then we will be implementing it full next year, given a 1 billion budget.
Thank you for watching. If this video has helped you, please click like, subscribe, and share in return. Thank you and mabuhay.